Hello, LinkedIn, Twitch, Periscope, YouTube, and how can I forget Facebook? My name is Frank Lavinia, and you can catch me at all these URLs that you see below. And today I want to kind of double click on something I mentioned casually yesterday. Assuming it will let me do this. There we go. I mentioned yesterday that I had a flow that let me yeah, let me start it over. There we go. I had a flow that I basically ran and it would go and post to my blog. So I'm going to I had to share another window, don't I? All right. No worries. All right, let's get this started. All right, so this is a flow, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to paste in a video and watch what happens. So I'm going to run this. All right, I'm going to run this. I don't have it set up with a trigger, although I suppose that's next. So what's going to happen now is I'm going to enter the video ID. Now, if you don't know what a video ID is, if I go to YouTube and I just put in this. There we go. So every video on YouTube has this here. I don't know if I can zoom in, but basically every video has a video ID. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to paste that video ID in, and what's going to happen is it's going to kick off a automate flow that will go hit the YouTube API, and then hit the YouTube API and then pull back all the different parts of the feed. So ultimately what's going to do, it's going to produce a blog post for me, and it's actually going to route that through WordPress.com, which is then going to then transfer that information to my blog. All right, so watch. I hit run. All right. So it's successfully run. Started. To monitor it, go to the flow runs page. And it succeeded. All right, 12 seconds ago. Now you're not going to see if you go to franksworld.com now, you're not going to see the post. But let me let's see if I can log in here. Let me, just in case there's a bit of a password reveal, let me shut this off. Go to how you doing today? Today's Tuesday. Yes, I know. Normally I do High Impact Tuesday, but this is having an enormous impact in what I'm able to accomplish. So this counts. All right, let's see what we got. Chug, 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 chug. Chug, 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 chug. Here we go. There's my dashboard. I'll go to posts. There you go. So if you looked at the video, this copied over, didn't copy over the category, but that's fine. I'll fix that later. But you'll see all of these tags, it pulls in from the YouTube API. So if I go in and I edit this now, this should include everything I need to edit it and then produce the web post. Yes, welcome to the block editor. Da, 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 da. There you go. So it basically took all of her description. Now I'll probably end up editing this down. So two things it doesn't do. It doesn't produce the featured image, which is something I still have to do manually. But for the most part, it captured the tags or the categories, not the categories, the tags. You'll see that this did pull in from the API. So how did it do this? Well, let's go here and let's see if I can show the run. All right. So basically I have a Let's see. Let me go to edit. Okay, I'm going to shut this off so it doesn't show my YouTube key to the entire world. Hang on. Bear with me. Oh, no way. It's not letting me do that. Oh. All right, so I'm just going to get rid of. Okay. All right. There we go. I got rid of some characters in the key. So I don't know if that's secure enough. You know what I will do? I'll just delete a bunch more. It doesn't let me select kind of this. All right. Let's try this. All right, here we go. So what this is doing is, if you look at the YouTube API, let me go here. So what I'm saying is I want to add an input. And now when I run it, I currently don't trigger it by an event, which is something I guess I could do with a Power App or whatever. Haven't gotten to that point yet. But what I do is I have a parameter here called the video ID. And that's when you saw me paste in that code. And then what happens is I dragged over this module of basically pulling in a HTTP request of a get is the method. And this is the URL that you have to do to call that to get this information. All right. So I'm basically saying that's the video ID I'm passing, right? And you see it's that special thing because that's what it's called. If I called that happy fun video code, that would show up there as happy fun video code. I pass in the key as a parameter. And this is kind of the code that I want to get. I want to get the statistics, the status, the content details, and the snippet. These are all in the YouTube public API. And so basically, I could enter other HTTP headers or whatnot. So what this does, this is going to go out and it's going to go and fetch that data, and I'm going to get the answer back as a JSON. And now I can generate from the sample. So I just copied and pasted this. And now I have all of these variables that are here. And basically, it's going to apply for each. In this case, there's only one result per. Although the way that the JSON is structured, it could be an array. I wonder if I put commas in there, what would happen? All right. And then there's another module that you can pull in. And all you do is basically say add action, right? And you just type in WordPress. And there it is, right? Gets the site statistics, get post, create post. So obviously that's a create post. And this is the number of sites that I have registered from there. And this is the content that will be created. I posted the, well, I actually got stuck in HTML mode and can't get it back to WYSIWYG, but that's fine. And then basically you'll see, if you look at the default text here, this is exactly what is in this post from channel name, description, and where is it? There it goes. And I embed the video, and that's it. That is it. So I'm going to not save my changes because I messed a lot of things up. So hide my can't think to hide the API key. Well, I probably should change it anyway. And yes, is it bad that I have the API key kind of exposed in yes, I probably integrate this with Azure Key Vault. Yes, but this is just an experiment. And so let's get another YouTube API key. Here we go. So if I basically paste in another API key, and I'll watch this later before I blog it, I'll run the flow. And let's go here. Come on. There you go. It's done. Although this doesn't have any tags. So there's not really a big advantage to using it in this case. If we go in here, we'll edit this. It's actually about Microsoft Project. I think that's what it is. And we go. I got an email this morning about being at my quota for the month for CPU seconds. So there it is. Should have centered that though. Well, clearly I have some work to do on my little workflow, but I like the idea that I can very quickly and very easily produce a content on this. Actually, there's one more thing I want to show you. So here's another flow that I have that you may have noticed. Let's go. Go to home. My flows. So basically what this does, here's a bunch of other flows that I have, but this one here, when I upload a video, actually including this video here, that's very meta. What will happen is that because I'm live streaming to YouTube as well as Facebook and Twitch and LinkedIn, what happens is that, I'm not exactly sure why that failed. You will notice that let's see what happens here. Come on. There we go. So this is from yesterday's live stream. And what's interesting is that this was completely automatically generated. So what happens is that there's a flow in here that if I go and I edit it, I don't think there's any API keys in here. When I upload a video, all right, create a post. And basically this is what it is. That's it. And the status should be published. Tags for the post. Actually, I could probably edit this now. Live stream. Yeah. Save that. So pretty cool. So I was talking to my colleague who all his expertise is strictly Power Platform, and he's the one who kind of turned me onto this program, this platform. And I was like, yeah, on Friday, last couple of days, like, good number of the posts that have been on my site have been, all automatically generated, including this. So now one thing I have noticed is I went live yesterday around about this time, same time of day, more or less. The blog post, though, didn't run. So I suspect it's some kind of job that happens because it didn't get published. Yeah, until 5:07 in the morning. I was not up at 5:07 in the morning. Although maybe I should have been. But up until a few minutes ago when I put the thumbnail in, it didn't show up. So I'm not exactly sure how to do that. One thing I may do is pull a page from my old Windows Phone development days, which is when they weren't making versions for Windows Phone, one thing I would do would be run a program like Charles. Charles is like a web proxy, and it would basically packet sniff everything going through. The fact that they weren't making Windows applications, Windows Phone applications for, various things should have been my first clue, but no, I was stubborn. And so I ended up basically going through these different apps and doing packet sniffing and kind of figuring out what traffic was being sent back and forth. Fiddler would do the same thing. One thing I could do is post from my blog, make a post using the WordPress API, and then mimicking that same thing, and maybe even building my own connector. Interesting. But anyway, yesterday I felt bad I wasn't able to kind of show the demo, but today I was. And with that, I hope you're having a fantastic day. I don't see any comments. So with that, I will end the feed and hope you have a lovely day.